What if the fate of the next great Lakers era isn't decided on the hardwood by sheer talent or hustle, but rather in hushed phone calls and calculated pauses behind closed doors? What if the very soul of this storied franchise hangs in the balance not because of what has already happened, but because of what remains uncertain choices made in shadows while the basketball world holds its breath? Welcome back to Lakers News Fan Report, where raw truth meets purple and gold passion. Smash that like button, hit subscribe, and ring the bell so you never miss a second of this drama. Now lean in, because what LeBron James just did isn't just a contract technicality. It's a seismic tremor shaking the entire NBA landscape. And the echoes of it might just rewrite his legacy, the Lakers' future, and the NBA itself. LeBron didn't make a move that everyone expected. No fanfare, no dramatic declaration about chasing yet another crown or stepping away on his own terms. Instead, the King exercised a $52.6 million player option to stay with the Lakers for the 2025-26 season. On paper, it sounds like LeBron is staying put, no trade requests, no free agency exploration, but this decision is unlike any of his previous 8-player option moves. Historically, LeBron has danced with his future at every turn, using options to test free agency waters, renegotiate, or ink fresh deals that cement his reign every time. This time, he's opting in, choosing to remain under his current contract. Why? What's the chessboard behind this seemingly straightforward choice? Insiders like ESPN's Brian Windhorst suggest this might be a masterstroke of layered strategy, LeBron's way of keeping his power intact while letting other teams scramble behind the scenes. And scramble they have. Within 24 hours of the towel announcement, Rich Paul, the architect behind almost every major LeBron move and CEO of Clutch Sports, was fielding calls from no fewer than 4 NBA teams. Calls about trades, about orchestrated deals that lean heavily into changing the balance of power. The King himself hasn't stirred the conversation about leaving. No clandestine whispers from the Lakers bench or boardroom. Yet, the mere fact that league's-eye bigwigs are already lining up with offers screams volumes. Because to the team circling, this window, the chance to lure LeBron away from Los Angeles, might be a fleeting one. And with LeBron turning 40, the urgency couldn't be more palpable. Now glance back at the trajectory since the Lakers won the 2020 bubble title in Orlando. Once a powerhouse, now a franchise trapped in a carousel of first-round exits, coaching shakeups, injuries, and inconsistent play. The magic is fading, the roster faltering, and the pressure mounting. LeBron's mission in LA was never about a quiet twilight of his legendary career. He came to dominate, to carve his place in history alongside Miami and Cleveland, to become one of the few players ever crowned champion with 3 different organizations. Yet he remains insatiable. That hunger for a 5th NBA ring, the trophy that could lock his name permanently in the pantheon of immortal athletes, drives every second now. He isn't chasing MVP trophies anymore. He's chasing immortality. Every move, every decision the Lakers make this offseason, he's watching intently. According to reports, LeBron's focus is laser sharp. He wants to be part of a genuine championship contender. Period. But here's the catch: the Lakers front office appears to be playing a different game. Instead of rallying all their chips to build a title-ready roster around the King, whispers suggest a pivot toward long-term rebuilding. A painful, seismic shift that trades immediate glory for the promise of youth and future relevance. Names like Luka Doncic, a young talent already on the roster, are being floated as cornerstones of a fresh core. Yes, the Lakers might be courting a future that's still far off, while LeBron's clock is already ticking loudly. It's a vision that seems at odds with LeBron's urgency, and the space between those competing timelines is where real tension brews. What happens if the Lakers fail to assemble a roster capable of contending this summer? Because make no mistake, this is when the real drama explodes. Despite his contract and no public trade requests, the calls to Rich Paul keep coming. The NBA knows the Lakers might be on the brink of losing their most iconic star in decades. Imagine LeBron donning a different jersey for a final run at glory. Imagine the headlines, the spectacle, the broken hearts and elation as fans everywhere. Watch the NBA's blue blood franchise face a crossroads their predecessors could only have dreamed of. 4 teams are already in the mix. That number will only rise. Because love him or hate him, LeBron James remains one of the most powerful forces in professional sports, on and off the court. So, now the heat is on. Can the Lakers build a team worthy of LeBron James' twilight years? A team that can seize a title before the sands run out? Or are we witnessing the beginning of the end, the sunset of an era that began in glory but might conclude in rebuilds and regret? And that question doesn't even touch on their next move, the signing of DeAndre Ayton. Not the blockbuster star acquisition that many fans craved, but a calculated, nuanced gamble with potentially huge upside. Ayton, the 7-foot former number 1 overall pick, yet a player marked by flashes of brilliance and bouts of inconsistency, has signed a 2-year, $16.6 million deal, replete with a player option, setting up a low-risk, high-reward scenario for the Lakers. On paper, Ayton's numbers last season: 14.4 points, over 10 rebounds per game, solid shooting percentages suggest a player ready to be more than a role player. Yet skeptics point to his defensive lapses, his sometimes ghostly presence in critical moments, an issue that screams loudly in a Lakers team desperate for a rim protector and defensive anchor. The offense is there. The hopeless inconsistency on defense? That might be the Achilles heel. But there's a silver lining. Ayton is just 26, entering his prime, stepping into the brightest stage in basketball. The pressure cooker that is Los Angeles might be just what he needs to rise to the occasion. Surrounded by elite talent and coached under the relentless spotlight, players have reborn their careers in LA before. If he buys in, if he brings intensity, on both ends, this could be the inflection point neither Lakers nor Ayton envisioned until now. The 2-year deal offers flexibility, a safety net for the franchise. If this gamble pays off, Ayton could be the steal of the summer. If not, the Lakers can cut losses without damage to their future. But make no mistake, this is a move with enormous stakes attached. This signing could tip the balance between relevance and obscurity. Yet the questions don't end there. The Lakers' wing depth remains painfully thin, a problem Rob Pelinka himself has openly acknowledged as a top priority. And with limited cap space and restricted options in free agency, the trade market emerges as the battleground for adding impact players. Enter Andrew Wiggins, the former All-Star and championship veteran, the athletic wing with a respected track record. Wiggins is reportedly available through Miami, but the price demanded has turned heads and raised eyebrows. The Miami Heat's asking price, a first-round pick from 2031, along with promising young players like Dalton Connect and Rui Hachimura, is steep. While Wiggins offers solid scoring, defense, and playoff experience, he's no longer the star he once was, and that hefty package may be more than the Lakers are willing to pay. This isn't just a numbers game. Trading away future assets and young talent for a complementary piece that might not dramatically alter the team's trajectory is a gamble few front offices would take lightly. And Pelinka seems measured, pragmatic, unwilling to mortgage the franchise's future on a piece that might not unlock the championship door this time around. Meanwhile, other moves like signing Jake LaRavia, a young forward with size and versatility, signal the Lakers' attempts to quietly add depth and youth, building through layers instead of splashing for stars. LaRavia isn't an instant star, but could become a key cog in the Lakers' forward rotation. The pressure mounts. If the Lakers are to chase a title in the next couple of years, they need more players who contribute consistently, not just potential or upside, and they must protect their assets carefully. In today's NBA, every move is a calculated risk. Every trade demands a gambit in the larger game of dynasty building or rebuilding. This offseason is far from over. Calls are ongoing, offers are being weighed, and the balance between patience and urgency hangs heavy. The Lakers find themselves at a crossroads. Will they double down on their legend's final championship chase or begin shaping a bold, youthful future around a new core? Time will tell if the addition of Ayton lights a fire or merely masks deeper deficiencies. Will the price for a wing like Wiggins soften, opening doors to upgrades? Or will the Lakers stand firm, betting on development and savvy moves? Each passing day brings new variables to an already volatile mix. As a lifelong Lakers fan, one who's lived through towering highs and gut-wrenching lows, I can't help but feel the weight of this moment. The Lakers stand at an inflection point, balanced precariously between revival and regression, between rewriting history or fading to a footnote in the careers of their legends. LeBron's decision to stay, for now, feels less like a commitment and more like a warning siren. Time is slipping, patience is running thin, and the pressure is mounting like never before. So what happens next? Wake up, Lakers Nation. If you're sitting there thinking this offseason is just another slow burn, another routine shuffle of jerseys and contract clauses, think again. What's unfolding here is a seismic tug-of-war not just over players or draft picks, but over the very soul of this franchise, the legacy LeBron James will leave behind, the weight Anthony Davis carries on his battered shoulders, the twilight journey of a legend that could either blaze up one last time or sputter out in bitter disappointment. See, we're not just talking about basketball anymore. We're staring into an emotional abyss where every decision ripples through decades of history and future dreams. Because while LeBron opting in might look like a safe, same old move at first glance, scratch the surface, and it's a high-wire act between defiance and desperation. LeBron is telling the Lakers, I'm here if you build. I will stay and fight. But the silence from the front office? Deafening. It's that quiet that has every fan in the stands clutching their purple and gold, hearts wondering, are we going to watch the decline of one of the greatest dynasties in basketball ... or witness its Phoenix moment? And you know what makes this all the harder to swallow? Because the Lakers front office is operating under such starkly conflicting visions that it feels like watching two titans in an ancient Greek tragedy clashing on the hardwood, one focused exclusively on the final title run, the other obsessed with piecing together a foundation that won't pay off for years, perhaps long after bronze lights have dimmed. This is not just a game of basketball anymore. This is a war for the identity of the franchise Jeannie Buss inherited and fiercely cherishes, but also a test of how far she's willing to go to keep her family's legacy intact. Amid whispers of outside billionaires circling like vultures looking to disrupt the delicate purple and gold balance. Imagine if a deep-pocket disruptor swooped in the kind we've seen in other NBA, a market splashing cash, shaking the roster, challenging the very culture the Lakers have cultivated since Showtime dazzled the 80s world, through Shaq and Kobe's three-peat that reignited the city's heartbeat in the 2000s. Then the poetic revenge title with Bryant in 2010, and that emotional, tear-filled bubble championship in 2020. That championship wasn't just a win. It was a defiant roar in the face of global chaos. But now, it feels like the Lakers stand on a knife's edge between that kind of glory and fading into irrelevance, swallowed by the lustrous shadows cast by Golden State's dynasty, Denver's relentless rise, or Phoenix and the Clippers' rise. From the ashes with new stars hungry for their turn. Think about it, the West is a boiling cauldron right now. The Warriors might be cresting toward a rebuild with Curry's age and personnel shifts. Denver's Jokic is carving MVP legacies, and yet Phoenix's young core with Booker and Ayton, plus a Joshua of talent rising in the Clippers' ranks. Smell blood in the water watching the Lakers stumble through indecision. If Los Angeles falters, if they fail to align the stars just right, we could witness one of the great shifts in decades. The Lakers dynasty dissolving not from injuries or bad luck, but from fractured leadership, competing timelines, and missed chances. And let's circle back to that man carrying a mountain on his back, Anthony Davis, the silent titan. If LeBron is the heart, AD is the pulse. We know his talent is God tier, but he's been stung by injuries and inconsistent team support. The Lakers' hesitancy to build a robust supporting cast around him is like asking a lion to hunt with a broken spear. The burden AD bears is immense every night, a test of endurance, ferocity, and mental toughness. What if this offseason offers only patchwork fixes, and AD's feisty fight fades as frustration brews? How long before internal cracks form? Before. Star power is tested against the harsh realities of playoffs pressure and long grinding seasons. And then there's Bronny, the next James in the making, the electric young spark whose progress symbolizes the future heartbeat of the Lakers. His development, his mentorship under the king, could be the storybook moment that rewrites purple and gold history, or just another casualty of disjointed strategy. At the same time, D'Angelo Russell's flashes of brilliance, Austin Reeves' scrappy rise, and the roles of young pieces like Jake LaRavia weave a delicate web of hope and uncertainty. Are these incremental gains enough? Or just placeholders until the Lakers find real star power who can answer the championship bell? We have to ask ourselves what it means for LeBron's own legacy. The man has carried the Lakers for nearly a decade, played through injuries, mentored rookies, carried the weight of championship expectations. But as he turns 40, this player option is less about comfort and more about control. Control over his own destiny, over what competitive firepower surrounds him, over how history will remember the final chapters of his career. Is he silently demanding the Lakers swing for the fences with bold trades, aggressive free agent pursuits, and fearless gambles, or is he preparing to vanish into a sunset where loyalty to the purple and gold meets cold, hard reality? The thought of LeBron donning another jersey, chasing final glory with a different franchise, sends a shockwave through every fiber of Lakers fandom. It's a horrific what-if that turns stomachs, but also forces honesty. Does the Lakers' current trajectory invite that possibility? And the front office? While Rob Pelinka displays the pragmatic caution of a chess grandmaster guarding assets, dodging overpayment, hedging bets, the silence from Jeannie Buss on the record is deafening. Is she ready to double down and rally with her general manager? Or is she quietly weighing the value of patience against the impatient roar of a fan base starving for rings? What if, behind closed doors, the whisper campaign of incoming money and change is already underway? What if a billionaire outbid by small margins in the past is quietly plotting a takeover that would shift the Lakers' future in ways no fan is prepared to handle? Picture this, a power struggle so intense it splinters the franchise, sending ripples that echo through the NBA for years. Now imagine all of this madness swirling as trade talks continue, those tantalizing rumors of Wiggins being out of Miami's hands, but with prohibitive price tags designed to stall, frustrate, and force Lakers' hands. The Lakers must decide: gamble on the veteran wing who adds playoff grit, or hold on to priceless future picks to rebuild a foundation. Every pick traded could be a brick laid toward dynasty, or a brick removed from the walls destined to protect it. The stakes have never been higher. In this volatility, the DeAndre Ayton signing feels like a coded message, an olive branch to hope, or a calculated lifeline. One flawed but gifted big who might either emerge as an anchor or further highlight the team's defensive fragility. Can he rise in LA's unforgiving spotlight? The pressure will be unbearable, the scrutiny relentless, but that's the crucible that forges legends or crushes careers. It's the same pressure that once forged Magic and Worthy, the crucible that pushed Kobe and Shaq to defy odds and doubters repeatedly, that tested LeBron in Miami and Cleveland, and now again here in LA. The past lurks behind every decision, those heartbreaking finals losses, the painful missed opportunities, the seasons lost to injuries that haunt the fan base like ghosts roaming the Coliseum floor. But the Lakers have bled purple and gold for over 7 decades now, and have always bounced back from carnage. It's in their DNA. Yet, this feels different, a tension in the air that raises the question: Are we at the final showdown, or the prologue to a long exile? The ripple effect of what happens here isn't contained in LA. It will send shockwaves across the Western Conference and the entire NBA. Will Golden State's dynasty falter faster with the Ballmer-era Clippers hungry to script a new order? Could Denver's Jokic-led juggernaut extend their reign, or might Phoenix's young firestorm rise like a desert phoenix, fueled by Lakers' uncertainty? Every franchise around the league is watching, smelling opportunity, each calculating how to exploit the Lakers' crossroads. This is the stuff raw, high-stakes sports drama is made of, the stories that fuel legends and crush hopes in equal measure. As a Laker till the day I die, here's what I see coming. We're about to witness a war of wills unlike any in recent memory. LeBron's twilight years clashing with a front office that might be writing a brand new script for the Lakers. A script where the past glories are honored, but not replicated. A script where the destiny of an ancient franchise teeters between eternal glory or agonizing exile. No one knows how this story ends. It could be a last stand for the king, a glorious rush to one final throne, or the painful passing of the torch to a new generation still finding its way amid shifting sands. Now I want to hear from you. Drop your rawest take below, every true believer in purple and gold, and tell me, are we standing on the cusp of a new Lakers dynasty, or the sunset of an empire whose time has come to an end? The clock's ticking and history is watching. What do you believe?